Alright, so in today's video, I'm taking a look at how to renew your passport. So first of all, whatever website you go to, make sure it's a Canada.ca website, okay? Do not go into any other one. So right now, you guys can go and click on this one, click on that one. As long as it's Canada.ca, you're fine. So we're gonna go into how to renew, and then from here, it's gonna tell you that it does cost you 120 bucks. So that's first of all. Then it's gonna tell you every single step. So you can renew this online, and you can renew it also in person, and you guys can just go into a Canada Center to do that. So again, that would be into a service Canada Center, and you guys can submit the form yourselves there. So it's really your choice. Regardless, go into the website and check out what you guys need. So just to give you a quick summary, you need 2 pictures, okay, 2 photos. You guys can go anywhere really for that. To Shoppers Drug Mart, for example, they take passport pictures. They work just fine. Anywhere. There's no special photographer that you need for that. Just go anywhere that they offer you passport pictures. They're very, very simple. You also need 2 references. Those 2 references, you basically just need their contact information. That's about it. And they cannot be family members or extended family members. Nothing to do with your family, okay? Immediate family. So right here, you guys can check out sections. So the first section kind of tells you what I just told you. So just do the check mark so you know that you're eligible. So if you had an adult passport, then you can renew it, okay? So if you were at least 16 years old when it was issued. Also, if it hasn't been expired more than a very long time, so something within 15 years, you're good to go. You can also check when it expired, right? And when it was issued. So as long as it was valid for 5 to 10 years, then you're good to go as well. If you have the same name, birth, all that stuff, everything has been kept the same deal. You're good to go. Same goes with gender. If nothing has changed, just put a check mark, and then right here it's going to tell you who can't renew your passport. So basically, if you're a child or under 16 years old, you can't renew it. So if you were 16 years old and your child passport has expired, you would need to apply for an adult passport. So that means if you got it anywhere before when you were 16 years old, okay? And as I mentioned, if you want to change your name, birthday, all that stuff, that's different passport. You have to apply for a new one. Also, if you're applying online, for example, they take longer. So it would be 20 days plus. So if you need to travel somewhere, you don't want to do this online. You want to go into the center and do it there. Just go with your application form. That said, this video is still good for you because you guys can fill everything out here at home and then just go to that center. And there you go. Just do it there. You guys can go ahead and apply for something really quick as well, where you pay more if you need your passport right away. Anyways, next up, you can just click on what you need to renew your passport. You just need your passport with you so you can do this. So let's say you lost your passport or anything like that, then you wouldn't be able to renew it. You would need to apply for a new one. But if you're renewing it, that usually means you have your passport with you. So you have the date of your last passport when it was issued. So you can just check that out. Date that it's expiring. Hopefully it's expiring in a little bit and not just already expired, but you guys can also apply even if it is already expired. The passport number, so just put a check mark there. 2 identical photos, so just go and get your passport photos, make sure they're 2 references. So as I mentioned, just nothing to do with your family. 2 references, just have their phone numbers and all that stuff, and you're good to go. So right here, it's gonna tell you what the passport requirements are. So their studio or company name. They're always gonna have this on the back of the pictures. So this is not really something you have to worry about that much, but just make sure to get screenshots so you know that wherever you take your pictures, they have this. And with a passport renewal, you do not need a guarantor. So there's nobody needs to sign the back of it because there's no need for a guarantor when you're renewing. But like I mentioned, what you guys do need from the pictures is the studio company, their address, and the date of the photos when they were taken. Now, who can be a reference for you? It has to be somebody 18 years old or older. They have to have known you for 2 years, at least 2 years. And they obviously have to agree with you that you can use their name and contact information because they could contact them at any point in time. And they do tell you that they may ask for additional references at any time if they need to. So for example, if your references went on vacation or something, they can't get in touch with them, then you might need another 2 people. And as I mentioned before, no family, extended family or immediate family can be part of your references. That includes any grandchildren or your spouse, for example. Then you guys are going to see this. Get the form and submit your application. Just click there. And right here, it's going to tell you just a little bit about Canada Post and all that stuff. They're also going to tell you if you do it this way, your passport will be mailed to you, which you can pay an extra fee for a pickup service. And it does tell you right here that some in-person locations can process your application quicker than others, which is true. And as I mentioned before, you do have an option for express or urgent service for faster. So if you guys need it fast, don't apply online. However, download the form right now, fill it up, and then go and pay that extra for express. But you do need to go into a Canada service center. And right here, it's going to tell you, when do you need your passport? Do you need it 19 days or less, or in 20 business days or more? Obviously, everybody's going to want 19 days or less. They're going to charge you more. And for 20 business days or more, that's going to be the normal charge. This does not mean that they're going to take 20 days or more. They could take less, 19 days or less, by the way, when you click on here. They're just telling you that this is the way that it works. They do take these people that pay more, obviously, first. So if you tap there, you guys are going to see this. You guys do have in-person, by mail, or online. So you do have those options. And they also tell you that the mailing time does include within the 20 days. So they could take 20 days to process your passport, and then there's another 7 days, let's say, if they mail it out to you. Now, if you click on 19 days or less, here they're going to give you even more options, because you do have the option by the end of the next business day. That's how fast it can go. They also have 2 to 9 business days, 10 to 19 business days. Now, let's say you guys choose this one by the end of the next business day. Right here, they're going to tell you all of this. So, for example, this would be for emergencies only. Anyways, it depends what you guys want. I'm just going to choose the basic 20. I'm going to go for online. And by the way, if you're doing this, online might not be available when you're trying to do this. So it might tell you that they're limited. It's not available at this point in time. You guys have to wait because it does reset at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you choose online, obviously the pictures are gonna have to be digital. So if you scroll down, you're gonna see that. There's obviously other requirements, but we kind of went over them already. So it can be expired or will expire in the next 6 months. That's usually the time when you want to renew your passport, because there's a lot of places where you can't even travel there with a passport that's expiring in 6 months. So that's why it's good to renew your passport fast. And here you have your various types of passports. So you guys can do a 5-year passport, that's 120, or a 10-year, that's 160. And there are additional charges. For example, if you misplaced or your passport was stolen, that's $45. Now let's say you guys don't want to do this online, you want to go in person. You guys can click in person. That's for most people actually, because it is faster technically. And just in case, what I would do is use Google Maps, and I would search for different centers where you guys see that there's less people, so there's less wait time. Some people can do this in 5 minutes. So you can go into a center, do it 5 minutes, and then you're done. So that's what I personally suggest you guys doing, so you don't go at the peak hours, so you're not there like for hours on end or waiting forever. So right here, it's going to tell you how to open up the document. So basically, you just need Adobe Reader 10 or higher to open it. Don't use your phone or tablet, sadly. But by the way, some tablets or phones can actually open it up. But with your computer, it's just easier. And I'm saying it's easier because for sure it's going to work on your computer versus your phone or tablet. It might not, because it depends which one you have and what programs you have installed in them. So right here, you're going to see download the adult passport renewal application form. So just tap on it, and here it is. All right, so right here, you guys can actually fill it up right now. It does depend though. Some of you might just need to print it and then fill it up. You might not be able to fill it up online. It depends. What I would do is save it. Okay, because some of you may not be able to even click here and then just fill it up. Or click there and fill it up, and click there and fill it up. Because it does depend on your web browser. So I would save it and then fill it up. But if you guys are able to fill it up, this is the time to do it. And you guys can read instructions of how to do this. But I'll just guide you through it. So for example, the first thing, it's going to ask you for your last name as it appears in your passport. So just make sure to take a look at your passport and see how it appears there, just in case. So you guys can go and just type that in. Then given names. So that just means your name. So just go and put your name. Then it's gonna tell you all former names. So these are names that do not appear in your passport. But of course, this is only if it was different than your birthday. So whenever you were born, if they gave you a specific name, then you changed it later, this is the part where you guys will put in whatever other names you guys had. If you didn't, then you're good to go. Most of you will skip that part. And then you're gonna go into surname of parents. So that just means the last name of your parents. So at birth. So you're just gonna type that in, whatever that is. And then you guys can just put applicant's place of birth. So wherever you were born. So it could be Canada, it could be the US, anywhere. Then it's gonna ask you, right here, applicant's place of birth. It's gonna ask you for country and city. So that's if you click there, and then if you click here on country, that's where you choose Canada. So there's a bit of a list there. And then date of birth. So just put in whatever your date of birth is. I'm doing this on my web browser, so that's why it might look a little iffy. And then there we go. Then just put in if you're female or male or anything other. It's right here. Your natural eye color. So it means just, your eye color. So whatever that is. Then your height. So right now, go on and measure yourself and put it in centimeters or inches. So you guys can put it in both. Doesn't really matter. Then if you go down, it's gonna ask you for your current home address. So for the number, that's first. So I'm gonna put my number, 28 Tech Street. If it's an apartment, put the apartment number. If not, don't put anything there. City, make sure to put the city. So in my case, it's Toronto. Then for province, there's just click there, and you guys are gonna see this. For me, it's Ontario. So there we go. Then we have postal code. Just put in your postal code. And then next up is your mailing address. This is only fill this up if it's different than your home address, okay? Don't fill it up again with your home address, because this you only need to fill up if it's different than your home address. For me, it's the same thing, so I don't need to worry about that. Your email address, so important. So we're gonna put this up, tech and design at youtube.com. Your phone number, and then if you guys have any other phone numbers. By the way, you do not need any other phone numbers. If you just have the one, you're good to go. Then right here, sign within the border. That means exactly that. You're gonna sign within here. Now, you guys could sign, if you guys have Acrobat, you guys can input your signature there, or just sign it after you print it out. I suggest sign it after you print it out. Just fill everything up and then sign it. Make sure it's within here, okay? Do not go over the borders. Then you're gonna see this part, date, and sign that, city. It's also gonna tell you province right here, territory, state. So just put province, so whatever city, and then province. And you guys will notice that you're not gonna be able to fill this up right now digitally. You're gonna have to actually write that down. All right, so as you scroll down, you're gonna see most recent Canadian passport. So just put your passport number, whichever that is, then date of issue, and then your expiry date. So expiry date would be different, obviously. And here we go. All right, so as long as you guys put that, you should be good. Then it's gonna ask you this. If you submit a passport, would you like it to be canceled and returned to you? Well, most of you don't, others do, but it depends. So if you click yes, yes, please return it to me. So if this box is not checked, the passport will be destroyed. It's not gonna be returned to you. So this is really up to you guys. Maybe you don't wanna keep your old passport for any reason. Regardless, they're gonna keep it anyways while they're doing this. So depends if you guys want it back or not. I'm gonna choose, yeah, return it to me, why not? Then down here below, it's gonna say Canadian citizenship. All right, this is only if you were born outside of Canada between February 15, 1977 and April 16, 1981. So some of you might not need to submit anything here or do any check marks here. Then as you scroll down, you're going to see this. So how long do you want your next passport to be valid for? So it can be 5-year or 10-year. I would suggest doing 10-year, but it's up to you guys. I have seen some people run out of pages when they do a 5-year. So they go for a 10-year, but same amount of pages anyways. So for 10-year, you might run out of pages too. So it's the same thing. It's just gonna expire in 10 years. That said, a lot of countries are kind of cool where they don't waste pages. So it all depends. For me, 10-year, it just makes sense. Then it's gonna ask you for additional information. Address in the last 2 years. Same as current home address, or is it different? I'm gonna choose same. So if it's a different address, then you guys would have to complete this. So right here, just complete it. If there's 2 addresses for any reason, then complete those 2 addresses. But most of you will have the exact same one. So that means you don't need to do that. So you do not need to complete this below. Now right here, it's gonna tell you occupation in the last 2 years. So you guys can go on to I was employed, full part-time, or I was in school, full part-time, or other, homemaker, unemployed, or retired. So check whichever box makes sense to you. Then as you scroll down, you're gonna see this, employed, school, or other. So just fill up that information right here, whatever that is. So in my case, it's just employed. Just put in the address of that employment or your school. Put in the phone number for that company. Then it's gonna ask you field of employment or studies. Then you're gonna put in your date, the date that you are applying with this, okay? So whatever that date is. So basically today's date. Then as you scroll down, you're gonna see references. Remember you needed 2 references? Well, you would have need to known them for at least 2 years. They would have to be 18 years old or older, and any type of family members, that is. So right here in number 1, surname, that means your last name. Well, not your last name, but the last name of the person who's your reference. Then it's given names, so that just means their first names, whatever that is. And then relationship to applicant. So for most of you, it's just gonna say friend. And then right here, it's the address. So just start off with the number. So number of their house. And then the street name, whatever that is. Then if it's an apartment number, make sure to put the apartment number. City. Next up, if you guys click here, you're gonna notice it gives you a drop down. From that drop down, just put Ontario or whichever province that is for you. Then for country, it should be Canada. And then from here, postcode. So now you know that you need all that information whenever you're filling this up for your references. You also need their phone number. So whatever that is. If they have another phone number, they don't need 2 phone numbers, by the way. Then their email address. And then how long have they known you for? So at least 2 years, remember. But obviously, if they've known you for longer than that, then put in 4, 5, 6, 7, whichever that is. And then you're going to do the exact same thing with the second reference, okay? You're going to fill up the exact same information. Obviously, it's a different reference, but it's the exact same thing that I just showed you. All right, then we have emergency contact information. So this can be a family member, okay? So you want, if you're getting trouble or anything, you want them to have this information, okay? So they have this information of who to contact. So this is very important. So this can definitely be a family member or a friend, okay? So it's gonna ask you for their last name first of all, okay? Then their giving names can just be their first name. Then relationship, again, it can be your father, for example. Telephone number, if they have another phone number, that's only if they have another one. They don't need another phone number. Then their email address, very important. And then their current home address. So you start off with the number, then street name, if they have an apartment number, city, and then province is going to be a drop down again. So there's a whole selection of provinces. Just make sure to select the right one. Then just fill up the postal code, signature of applicant. Just do that by hand. Print it out and sign it, okay? You don't want to sign it digitally. I mean, you can. It's better if you print it out. Then you guys can move on to page 3 out of 6. But this is the good part. This is just going to tell you everything about who may use this form, all right? So basically, it does tell you if this is a brand new passport that you're applying for, this is not the link that you guys want to. You guys want to sign up for a brand new passport. So it's actually going to give you the link right here so you don't waste your time. Then it's just going to run you down through everything that we already talked about, basically. And here's the requirement. So obviously, if you're watching this, just make sure to sign this document and just hand it in as fast as possible. Because if it's 12 months later that you're going to hand this in and do this process, it's just not going to work. So it does tell you right here, the form has to be signed within 12 months. Then you need 2 passport pictures, basically, no more than 6 months old. So just do it now, get it recent. I would even do a recent one, even if you have one that's 5 months old, for example. And then it's going to tell you to just include your old passport. So the one that you have, even if it's still valid, it's not expired yet. Now, if your passport has been stolen or anything else like that, it does give you a link for that. So you guys can go on, even if it's damaged as well. And of course, here's the check mark for the fee. So that's just things for you guys to know. And right here, you're going to see the fee. So if the application is made in Canada, 10 years, 160, 5 years, 120. If it was made from the US, 190 for 5 years, 260 for 10 years. That's an additional $100. Then it's gonna tell you how to pay for this. So in-person applications, credit card. They're gonna have a credit card machine there, so you guys can just pay for it. And then there's a bunch of other options that they're also gonna tell you about right here. And if you guys scroll down, you only need to do this credit card information part if you're mailing this in. Okay, so just putting MasterCard, name that it appears, all that stuff. And then for official use only, it's this part right here. So you don't have to fill that up. Again, you just have to cut this up. But you do not need to complete any of this if you're going in person, which is the fastest way to get your passport. Even if you're not in a hurry, it's still faster. Then if you scroll down, it's going to tell you this, applying in person. So it's going to tell you exactly what to do. But basically, you're done right now. You guys can just go on, take this form, and take it where you need to take it. So I would just go into Google Maps and look at the closest center that you guys have. So the closest Service Canada Center. So just type that up, look at the closest one. Sometimes that closest one is not the best one because it gets too packed. So maybe you want to drive just a little bit more. Some people even drive to another city because another city could just be 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away. And they have like no people there. So that might be worth it too. And Google does help you to see that for sure. And if you keep scrolling down, it's going to tell you if you're applying by mail. Well, here you've got all the information as well for that. Contact information if you guys need any help for this. But hopefully this video helped you guys out with the whole thing anyways. And then that's it. It's just going to tell you a bunch of stuff that you need to know. Like your signature, for example, it has to be inside the box. It can't be like outside the boxes, stuff like that. Just a bunch of information like privacy stuff. Then it's going to tell you instructions. You don't really need to know this, okay? You don't need to take your ruler with you to get your picture done. This is something that they should know wherever you go. I've gotten it so many times. I think I got it once in Costco. That was way long ago though. Then Shoppers Drug Mart. Yeah, and it's always been Shoppers because that's been pretty cheap and it's close to me. They've always done it right, so... And that's really it. All you guys have to do is just go on and print form. Do not click on reset form. That's going to delete everything you just did. You guys can also save it. So print or save, same thing. I'm only saying same thing because you guys could save it from printing. Or you guys can save it and then print it. Regardless, just tap on one of those two, then print it out, and then bring it into the office. And that would be it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, comments, you guys can write down in the comments area. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.